What's up, guys? I'm Nick, and this is Build Dad Build, a place where we believe it's all about the Benjamins. Alright guys, so I got up this morning, I went down to the bank and I took out a second mortgage on our house. Why? Because Daddy needed some plywood. The things I do for you guys. Actually, I've been wanting to do some plywood carving for a while. I've seen it a lot of places. It looks really cool when you carve down in between the plies. So you want to go out and get that nice, thick,
really expensive
plywood to get the effect that you're going for. I went out to the big box store and picked up a couple of 2x4 pieces because they were like way less than a 4x8 piece of plywood was. And what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to cut this into like 12-inch circles, and we'll have a couple of them to experiment with. But you know what we got to do first?
We gotta get to work.
Alright, now we just need to get these glued up. When you're gluing together two pieces that have a large surface area, a lot of times they tend to float around on each other. Little pro tip for you is after you use your glue, after you apply your glue, get yourself a little table salt. Sprinkle around there. You don't have to do a whole lot. It gives you just a little bit of grip so when you put your top piece on, it doesn't slide around. And then all you need is something heavy, and you don't even need to clamp it. The more you know. So what I did is I carved out 6 circles. So we'll have 3 of those blanks. Now, shh!
The babies are sleeping.
I don't know how much in love I am with this. I feel like there needs to be more of the top layer of ply. You didn't see the first part of it because I forgot to turn on the camera, but I started out with the precision carving, the little small ball burr, and I think the precision of that thing is greater than what I should have started out with. I think I should have started out with something bigger. Then we get the die grinder out and try this again. Maybe I'll try to do more of a like traditional bullseye with the ripples going out just to kind of get a better idea. That's why I'm experimenting. Now, I'm not gonna throw it away yet. This might be the best one. You never know.
No, let's do it again.
All right, guys, are we ready for some results? The result of this Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style is absolutely delicious. All right, now let's talk about wood. Okay, I had 3 experiments, so I'm gonna present them to you in the reverse order of how much I like them. So first, I present to you the unpolishable turd. I just don't like it, man. Fortunately, I was trying some things here. I was trying a technique with unicorn spit that I've seen other people do, and I think that they add something else to the spit to make it blend, because it just was not happening for me. It may also be just because I was doing it on an unprepped surface. You know, I didn't do anything to the wood first. I actually was gonna take this and I was just gonna cover it with spray paint and see if like a single color looked better, but then my daughter saw it and she really likes it, so she wants to hang this in her room. So the unpolishable turd is polished by my daughter's love. Aww. I even said in the video that I felt like there wasn't enough, I didn't leave enough high ridges, so it didn't give it enough of this, and then it just like, the stuff wasn't blending the way I thought it was going to, and apparently there's a little bit more of a technique involved there that I don't know. All right, enough with the unpolishable turd. Number 2 is this guy. And if you spin it real fast, ooh, you're getting sleepy. Sleepy. I like the way this one turned out. I would have done it a little different had I done it again. Again, like I almost think this is too thin, and I feel like this needs to be a little bit more rounded. So maybe I do that next time around, but I do really like the contrast of the metallic unicorn spit on there with the wood. So I think this one turned out pretty decent, and this is the one my son wants, so he gets number 2. It's really good stuff. Okay, now for my favorite. Ta-da! I just like the way this one looks better than the other 2. It doesn't really have a whole lot to do with the different colors of stain. I just wanted to, I was always gonna do one natural just to have a contrast, and I figured this was the best one because since we did kind of get that more rolling look to it, I thought like maybe a color on the top and leaving this bare or wood color might not look so great. So I just love the way that looks. I mean, just it's so good. Here, let me get it under the light a little bit more. And this is what I was talking about, having like those kind of more curved out valleys and not just dropping straight in, which is, it's just a learning curve. Like I said, these are experiments, man. And since this is my favorite, it's going out in the shop. Update on Deadpool. Deadpool has died. My Deadpool project that if you follow my Instagram stories, it kept falling off the wall. Like it would, like part of it would break apart and fall down and I had to glue it back together. And I glued it back together twice. And the third time it was just like, I realized what was going on and I realized why it was kind of unfixable. I charred the black parts of the pixel art that made up his mask, and the construction adhesive I was using was adhering to the char, but then that char was just pulling loose. The construction adhesive, there was no penetration into the wood. It was all just adhering to the char, and so what was happening is over time that char would just start pulling away from the wood. So the reason I discovered that is when I was putting it back together the third time, I realized that anywhere there was a break was always on a charred piece. And as I was putting it together, more pieces were falling off. And it got really frustrating, and I threw it in the trash. But I'll make another one. I'll figure something out. We'll do another Deadpool. All right, guys, so special thanks to Unicorn Spit, who sent me out some product to experiment with. I still really love working with it, even if I haven't completely figured it out in all its applications. Speaking of special thanks, I would like to especially thank all of my patrons. My patrons are awesome. I love you guys. You guys are the reason that I picked up my new epoxy mold that you'll see in a future video. Very cool little mold to have if you're gonna do a lot of epoxy projects. Like I said, you'll see that in an upcoming video. It's actually, my first run of it is sitting over here sleeping right now. You know why? Because I waxed that ash. It's actually molded. And while I'm thanking my patrons, I would like to welcome back Brandon Farkas of Patriot Woodworks. Took a little hiatus, but now he's back. And as always, an extra special thanks goes out to my top tier patrons, or my Boilermaker patrons. Nick the Greek, Stephen Mann, Eric Easy E. Weiss, Derek Coates, Caveman Ross, Chuck Faulkner, Puffy Muffins, and Mike Penrod. Kalinkies! Alright guys, if you want to support the channel, you can head over to my Patreon page if you haven't already and join up there. If you want to support the channel without spending any money, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and comment down below which turd was your favorite. Alright guys, until next time, thanks for playing, and now I gotta get to work. Alright, I had 3 and as always, an extra special thanks. Alright guys, until next time, thanks for playing. And now why can't I not stand on my feet?